Today we're putting together the Blackstone Model 2287, the 20-inch griddle with hood from Blackout Series. Features a sleek design, factory preseason Blackout Omnivore Griddle Plate, fixed side shelves with hooks, 2 independently controlled cooking zones, Blackstone's flex rail system for accessories, and a rear grease management system. Hey guys, if you just picked up the 2287 Blackout Series from Blackstone, you're in the right spot because I'm going to show you how to build this today. I'm very excited about this one because this one's new coming out where it's already pre-seasoned for you. So we're going to have some discussion later about that. But right now, let's get into the build. Blackstone, their packaging is very streamlined. They have only 3 major things here inside the box that we have to focus on. One of those being the accessories, the bolts, the screws, things like that. And inside here we have the shelf to go below, which also helps stabilize the unit. And we also have the side shelves as well as the griddle. And then over here is the heat box, right? This is what really makes it perform, pushing the propane and driving the heat. So we'll get that set up here a little bit as well. So the shelf is kind of misleading because it needs to go on kind of upside down because you want this deeper part to actually be something we can sit stuff into. So in order to do that, you really need to make it go on the underside of this. So it's kind of hard to work by yourself when you do it underside. So what we're going to do is actually turn this onto its side so we can work on it easier that way. Alright, so we're going to take our feet and actually put our feet on the inside of this so we can help kind of push it apart just a little bit. We're going to take the shelf, and if you look, there's a bigger part over here we can easily slide that into, and then we can bring it right back into the spot where we need it to go. Alright, so in the same part of the package, there's 2 different sizes of screws. We're going to use the longer screw on the side that does not have the propane, and we're going to use the shorter screw for the propane side. On this side, it's important to look, there's a ridge, and you want that ridge to sit on the top for stability. So pro tip, as you're putting this in, you may have to wiggle the shelf up and down just slightly enough to be able to find that hole. The instructions say if you need help, get 2 people for this next step. This is a great spot to check to make sure that your igniters are the right position from the burner tubes. You want just about a 1/4 of an inch length away, right directly over the top of the tube. This one is perfect. If you look at this one over here, it's a little tight, it's almost touching it. If it's touching it, it's not going to create a spark, and it's going to carry the electric charge through the entire tube and not actually catch your flame on fire. So we're actually going to take this one and just slightly bend it up just a little bit to give us a little bit more space for that spark. If you put your hooks on and they're really loose like this, it's because you forgot your washers. These two washers over here are extremely important to be able to tighten that up. One of these actually has a broader, you can see a horizontal type slot. That's going to be on your hook side, and the other one's your round one that's going to be on your thumb screw side. So let's go ahead and show you how that works. We're going to take this one right here, and you actually want to turn it upside down since our shelf is upside down. So we want to make sure that we incorporate that on here, the washer, and then we're going to put that into our hole, follow up with the second washer, and now when we screw this on there, it's going to be much more tight. That's not going anywhere, and we're going to repeat for side 2. With our shoulder bolts and 2 M5 nuts, we're going to attach the rail. I'm going to go right through the middle there, and then that's going to go right through our hole, and we're going to attach the nut on the back. And again, this is upside down, so when we are working on this one, now we just attach the M5 bolt to the back. We're going to put this on there finger tight for now, and then once we get the other one on, we'll go ahead and tighten them down. So this screw right here on the top is the one that we're going to want to loosen. So we're going to go ahead and take our screwdriver, put that in there. We don't need to take it all the way out. We just need to take it out about 1/4 of an inch or so. Right about to there. This is also a great time to go ahead and take off your stickers. So with our screws out about 1/4 of an inch on both sides, we can now take this slot and it's going to fit right on top of there. It'll hang, just be very careful not to put weight on it yet since it's not secured. So now that we have this one on up here and it's secure enough to be able to hold the shelf, we're going to get our other bolt into here. So this is the last 4 M6 bolts. We're going to use 2 on each side to repeat on both sides of the shelf. Now that we have the bottoms tightened, we're going to go ahead and go back to the tops and finish off tightening the tops again. This will ensure that we have a really secure shelf. This next accessory, if you can call it one, is the grease cup. And this is extremely important because this is going to catch all your debris that comes off of the surface. This just installs simply right here on the back. There's a little slot right here, and the slot from this just allows it to fit in there. Once your top is on, it's got the hole for the grease train that's going to allow that to go right into the back of that and keep it from being a mess. This next step is extremely important too, that if you're not strong enough, you probably need to get 2 people. On the bottom, you can see that it's got the pegs on it that are going to be able to line up directly onto this Blackstone. The first peg is right here. You got another peg down here at the bottom. You have a peg on this one and a peg down here on the bottom as well. The difference is these 2 pegs at the top, they have a little bit of a bubble on them. And if you look right down here, there's a keyhole that's going to slide into. So when we first put it on, we want to put these into the front half of that, and then the whole griddle is going to slightly slide back about 1/4 of an inch. Let's go ahead and get this installed. So our fronts are in right now, but our backs are not. But once we pull it back, the backs are going to be able to slide right in. Just like that. The last step of what we need to do for the build is simply the handle for the lid. We're going to go ahead and take a screwdriver and undo these 2 screws that are already built right into this. So you don't have to pull them from the packaging. They're already included. Let's go ahead and get these unscrewed. When you're putting the handle on, there's no right up or down. This is universal. You can put it on either way, so you're really not going to make a mistake which way you go. But you do want to remember the little orange discs. Just for aesthetics, they need to go right on top of that to make sure that it looks cool. This screw is just simply going to go underneath on the bottom hand side and screw right up into the handle. One thing when you're doing this by yourself, I found if you can start one screw and just kind of get it finger tight, then you can come over here to the other side. We're going to put the screw up through it. And then it's easier to be able to get it in, to get it started. Now all we have to do is tighten it down. Now all we have to do is tighten it down. Nice thing about the rail system is it has a lot of options for accessories of things that you can put on. They've got things like Bluetooth speakers, but one of my favorites is just this accessory holder. The nice thing is you can just put these right on and they just pop on and they stay there. They don't really move around a whole lot. You can move around just enough to be able to move things if you need to, but they're awesome to be able to take off quickly and clean. One thing not included is the AA battery. You're going to want to get AA battery, and that's going to come right into here. You just unscrew that. The battery goes with the pointy part out, and then we're going to screw it back on. This is going to allow us to give us our ignition. Alright, so now that we're done with this build, it didn't take very long. That was about 20 to 30 minutes depending on your capability. But there's a couple more steps we need to do. One, this is the Blackout Series, so it's already seasoned for you. You don't really have to do that. The only thing that's recommended, hit it with water, clean it off with just water, don't use any soap. Get it dried really good, and you're ready to cook. But if you want to take a few extra steps like I do, this Blackstone Griddle Conditioner Seasoning is completely awesome. This stuff really does a great job of just adding initial seasoning layers as well on top of what's already there. It's not required, but it does benefit. The other part is, make sure you register and activate the warranty for your Blackstone. This is a simple step you don't want to forget. Things happen. Sometimes it comes up and there might be a mistake with your griddle. There's a team out there that can assist you with that, so don't forget about that part either. But for now, we're pretty much done. We're going to go out, throw another initial layer of seasoning on this just to get it done, so stick around for that video. But we also need to make sure we're doing a leak test. If you have a question of what a leak test is or why a leak test should be done, make sure you watch the next video, which you can find right here.